Hello and welcome back to the tribe. My fellow tribesmen, in this video we are going to take a look how the Sol Planner can be used to set up and plan weather conditions. Sol Planner window at first looks a little bit intimidating, but let's break it down to sections to make it a little bit easier to understand. Top left we have preset slots and import-export buttons. Besides them we have wiper control and rain effects difficulty. In the right top corner we see time and date controls. Below all of this we see the mode selection buttons and weather slots, and on the bottom, once you click an empty slot, we have the weather conditions and their parameters. Let's take a deeper look at these sections and what they do. We start with the most essential functions, setting up weather plans. For every weather plan you have in total of 9 weather condition slots. These 3 little buttons on the left let you switch between 3 different weather plan modes: full day weather plan, timed weather plan, and timestamp weather plan. These are only 3 different modes where weather condition changes depend on different things. In full day weather plan, weather conditions change according to the time of day, which you see on the right hand side here. Date is the real life date, and start time can be changed in Content Manager before you start the game. In my case, the game is set to ideal conditions, that's why it will always start at 12 o'clock. So in this mode you can plan different weather conditions in these 9 slots, and conditions will change according to the time of day in game, which flows like in real life. You can set time of day from the right hand side like this, where these 4 boxes represent amount of time forward or backward: 1 minute, 10 minute, 1 hour and 6 hours. You understand what the arrows mean. Also you can set the date here, where these 3 boxes represent day, month and year. You can also set how fast time goes by here. 3 boxes represent 1x, 30x and 100x. Reset button resets time acceleration. If you would like to jump to a specific time of day, you can use these slots to jump to one. These slots will set the daytime according to season, in-game or sun's trajectory. I will cover editing weather slots later in the video. So, second weather planning mode is timed weather plan mode. In this mode you won't see specific daytime slots, but instead numbers in these boxes. The numbers in these boxes are time in minutes. So yes, you understood it right away. Weather conditions set in these 9 slots will last exactly as long as these time values in minutes. So in this example, every condition would last 5 minutes and switch to the next one when the time is up. This whole weather change process would take 45 minutes, and it's shown here. By the way, this is independent from daytime and date, so you can set it to whatever you want. If you have your weather conditions ready, you click start and conditions will change exactly according to the time values you entered above, and it is also loopable, so once you click loop button, condition changes will always loop. The third mode is the timestamp mode, which sets these 9 slots to exact day times. This mode is not loopable. If you change the time or date, the plan's timestamps are fixed and you will move through the time plan. If you change a date and click the timestamp mode button again, the dates will be updated. Alright, so weather planning is now covered. Let's take a look at the other sections and not go far, and start with preset import and export buttons. Red arrow means import and green arrow means export. 5 blue boxes represent complete preset banks, where you can save and load 5 presets at once, or you can save or load a single preset with the button with the green box. Moving further to the right, we have a wiper control, where the numbers represent these stages. -1 will set wipers to auto control by Sol Planner, where wipers come on and set appropriate wiping speed when you have rainy weather conditions. Moving to the right, we have rain effects difficulty, which is a new feature introduced with the latest Sol version. This only works with the paid CSP 1.80 Preview 115 or later. With CSP 1.8 Preview 115, new rain physics were introduced. Wetness was completely changed, so if you find yourself struggling to drive in rainy conditions, you can reduce the amount of wetness which the rain generates. But there is a new option to use on new Sol Planner, rain effects difficulty. With this setting, you can now dial back how much slip is introduced on track by scaling track wetness generation without fiddling with the wetness slider. With these new 4 settings from easy to real, you can fine-tune your desired slip amount on track when wet. Moving further down, we have weather condition boxes and weather parameters. I guess weather conditions are quite self-explanatory, but one special case is random weather. If you want to have dynamically changing random weather slots, you need 3 slots used in total. So if random weather is the only slot here, randomizations cannot occur over time since it will be the only slot with weather, and Sol cannot roll the dice for random weather for a slot that it is currently showing. You can also define random weather contents by clicking random weather slot again. It turns orange and now you can select or deselect what random weather conditions are going to be shown. Moving on to take a look at weather parameters. These parameters are actually not restricted to any weather condition, so you can alter these even though, for example, you choose heavy rain condition. The blue values represent the calculated amount for the single weather slot, and the red values is the maximum achievable amount. The rain amount is calculated randomly. A higher probability value will cause a more often rise of the rain amount. A higher variance value will cause a higher fluctuation. Below that, you find wetness and puddles. Here you can set fixed rain effects parameters by yourself for every weather slot. For example, you can start with a dry weather but with a wet track with much puddles or less. If wetness or puddles is set to -1, the calculation is automated by the Sol controller. For humidity and fog, the blue value represents the actual values of the global humidity and fog. Humidity and fog are dynamically adapted to the weather situation but can be preset for a single slot. And that's been it from this guide and video. So, if you like my content, please leave a like, a comment, or consider joining our tribe. See you in another video. Take care.